Well, hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. This is probably, I would say, 99% chance this is going to be the last video coming from this house. Supposed to sign the papers here in a couple of hours, then I'll be heading south, and hopefully can just get settled for good. Last couple of months have been turbulent. But anyhow, today I want to talk about the second month on a raw food diet, what to do. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd love it if you'd go down and hit that subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel and can come back and check out some more of this content. I'm going to try my best to remember, but you can find, there was a video I did about 6 weeks ago, the first month on a raw food diet, what to do. I'm going to recap a little bit today, but I'll put a description below. But if I forget to put a description below, just go search my channel or go back about 6 weeks and you shall come across it. Now, just to kind of recap a little bit, one of the things I said, and I don't really recommend going raw overnight. But one thing you could do, especially in your first month, and I talked about that in the first one, so I'll just recap it. I won't talk about it too much, is you could go plant-based overnight. There's just too many options out there. There's so many recipes. And remember, I'm saying plant-based. You might not be going fully raw, or you may not be going raw at all. You know, if you're eating a lot of animal products, a great first step would just simply be to go plant-based. But going plant-based over the first month, for sure. What else? What else did I mention? I also mentioned you should be educating yourself in that first month. Educating yourself not just on a raw food diet. Don't just look for everything about raw food that you can get your hands on, but good nutritional information by people like Dr. Greger, Dr. Esselstyn, Brenda Davis. Just good sources on nutrition and what our body needs, and not just the raw. So keep on educating yourself, and I would say that's an ongoing process. Month number 2, what do you do in month number 2? You continue educating yourself and watching videos and stuff. Like I say, you're probably not going, unless you just have massive amounts of time on your hand, you can't just sit around and read one book after another. But like Dr. Greger, How Not to Die. If you search that on YouTube, you'll get a good hour and a half long lecture. Fiber Fueled. I get tongue-tied sometimes. That's a great one to watch, and there's a number of hour-long talks online. So continue to educate yourself on the true nutrition of your body, but now maybe start to dabble and look a little bit more on what like some of the raw food information has to say, but always take every bit of that with a grain of salt. Clean up your environment. That doesn't need to be, that's about as clear as it can be, just getting all the bad stuff out of your kitchen, your house, whatever, and replacing it with good options. Now, what we had talked about in the first month is, and one last thing that I said, and I would say this would be a continuing thing too, is to find recipes that you enjoy. I said for the first month, since you're not going fully raw anyway, and you're kind of just dabbling with the raw, 5-6 recipes. But now that you're trying to go a little bit deeper, get yourself a good repertoire. Anybody should be able, even if you're doing fully raw. Well, maybe not anybody. Some people need more variety than me. But if you've got 10 or 12 solid recipes that you really like, that goes a long way on this lifestyle. So however many recipes you were able to find during the first month, or you find during the first month, do the same thing in the second month. Just kind of keep adding, but don't be fanatic. I see these people that every time you post a picture of food, recipe, I'm like, it's a bowl of bananas, darling. but definitely get you some recipes and find things that you really enjoy eating. That's what I always want to double down on in when I'm talking about my videos. That you can't just do a diet. You can't just do something that's very dry, that's just like, okay, well, I know this is good for my health, but maybe you don't really enjoy it. We are wired to enjoy our food. If you don't enjoy your food, you're not going to succeed on this lifestyle. So find stuff that you really enjoy. Now, the second month, I would say you could expand that. The first month also, too, I said go raw till noon. Anybody could go raw till noon. I used to do raw till noon sometimes when I was a drunk. So I'm thinking, like, no matter how you feel going into this or how bad your diet would be, anybody can go raw till noon. Just eat, eat a big fruit bowl, make a smoothie, eat some fruit, make some ice cream. There's nothing wrong with ice cream for breakfast, some good banana and ice cream. That will keep you raw till noon, but stay raw till noon. Now, how about if we extend it in the second month and we say go raw until dinner? Now you're doing raw pretty much 2/3 of the day. And depending on how you break that up, maybe that last meal of the day is just a light cooked meal or whatever, however you do that. But now you're up to having, most of your day is raw up until, say, dinner time. So work on that this month, two raw meals a day. One thing I would throw in there, whether it's going to be your raw meal or not, get in the habit of make yourself a big salad every day. As I've talked about in a lot of other videos, salads are just such a good way to fill you up, deliver a lot of different nutrition. So I would say in the second month, if you haven't already been making yourself a lot of salads, start including one big salad every single day. And when I say a big salad, like go back and watch some of my What I Eat in a Day videos. For raw food people, salads are just a little bit different. Like I use a head of lettuce. I'll use a head of romaine lettuce. I'll use a head of red leaf lettuce in there. As a lot of you are probably tired of hearing me talk about now, I like to chop stuff up to put in there. I'll keep Tupperware containers in my refrigerator with chopped purple cabbage, chopped broccoli, chopped purple onion. I'll keep tomatoes and cucumbers, marinated tomatoes and cucumbers in the refrigerator, and I put all that stuff on my salad. And you can just, whatever you like. Maybe you're getting fresh tomatoes out of your garden, but load that salad up. I'm talking about when I've got a big bowl like this. So make yourself a big salad every day. And if you're doing raw till dinner and you're including a big salad every day, you're just making steps. You're making steps in the right direction. It's more, a lot of it is just crowding out any bad food with good food. And when you're meeting your nutritional needs and when you're eating certain things on a regular basis out throughout the day without just being willy-nilly like, oh, what am I hungry for? You're feeding your body what it's going to start calling for more and more. And, like a lot of times I like to even talk about getting out ahead of hunger. When you eat regularly like that, you get up in the morning, you do your hydration, you eat a nice big raw breakfast, maybe have a snack mid-morning, keep it raw. But just basically, if you're keeping yourself full and you're keeping yourself fed and full of nutrition, you're going to have less of those, okay, now I'm getting a craving. Now I want to have chips in the middle of the morning, or now I want to have a candy bar. Or, if you're working in an office, maybe you have this temptation to go down to the vending machines and get something. If you keep ahead of that hunger and feed yourself, feed your hunger and feed your nutritional needs, it will go a long way in there. So add yourself a salad every day. Something I talked about last month as well that I highly, highly, highly recommend while you're still eating cooked food. I don't know. Like I say, I like to throw a lot of different information and a lot of different options out there. I'm not assuming everybody's trying to be fully raw. In fact, I think most people are not trying to be fully raw. One thing I talk about all the time too, though, is the cooked food, if you're while you're transitioning, or if you still eat cooked food, forever. I find one of the best ways that I enjoy having my cooked food is just adding it to my salad. That's one of my go-tos right there, is putting a couple of sweet potatoes on my salad. And I'm doing that less and less because the main reason, like I said, for years that I do it some because I like it, but the main reason I'll add any cooked food at this stage is just so I can maintain my weight. That's leveled off a little bit this summer. I haven't had this need to eat like just so many calories just to maintain my weight. So I'm gradually eating, I'm not putting the potatoes on my salad as much anymore, but that's a great way to do it. It helps with the digestion because you're still getting that high water content food, because the cooked food is a little bit more drying to the body. But if you're still eating cooked food, you're transitioning, throwing a couple of sweet potatoes, or even just throwing a couple of regular potatoes on top of your salad. Or if you're eating something else that's cooked, even if it's just on the side, eat that salad with it, because it's going to make your digestion so much better. And like I say, I'm going to keep this one kind of short today. Just continue moving forward. People get so impatient about this lifestyle. People get so impatient about everything that they get frustrated that they can't get there as quick as they want to, and they don't really process, they don't really realize if you just did this bit by bit. Like if you did stuff like this, if okay, this is what I'm focusing on in month 1. I'm not trying to swing for the fences. I'm not trying to be fully raw, eating perfect. One thing I should throw in there too is definitely drop more and more and more of the processed food as you go along. But so what people will do is they'll take 2 or 3 steps forward and 2 or 3 steps back, and they're constantly doing that and back and forth because they stay stubborn, and sometimes it's pride and a little bit of ego that I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it immediately and I'm going to do it my way. Whereas if you really just step back and thought, if you did a process like this, whether my process is yours or not, gradual, bit by bit, you've got a plan for the first month, and I'll finish with that for sure. Whatever you do, make yourself a plan for the first month. If this doesn't resonate with you, I'm not trying to fit everybody into one, box like we're all the same, but make yourself a plan for the first month and stick with that. And then the second month, make a plan. If you just go step by step by step, I know it's kind of cliche, it's one of those old quotes, but the journey of 1,000 miles begins with 1 step. And no matter how fast you're taking those steps, if you just keep step after step after step, keep moving forward, you find yourself 6 months from now, you don't know what happened, and you're eating fully raw if that's what you want. And you're eating really well, and you've learned a few things, and you're getting the nutrition you need. And anyhow, just me rambling. I'm always just trying to kind of give you a little bit, like, not necessarily a shortcut. There's not necessarily shortcuts, but just like the benefit of like some of the things I would have done differently and how I think you can get there quicker and more efficiently by not necessarily being so impatient to get there, if that makes any sense. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you soon from about an hour and a half south of this location. Peace.